everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of your favorite sports betting podcast. That's right, boys and girls. It is time once again for Jump the Sharp. Oh, it's the last week of the NFL regular season, week 18. We're going to have some fun with this week. I know I am. We'll see where the Woodman takes it. I am your host, Brian Hollywood, hanging along with my beautiful and talented co-host, the Woodman, David Woody. What's up, handsome?
What's up, good buddy? How we doing?
I'm doing good. Last week, we went officially for the show 2-2.
Yes.
We had two of our picks, obviously, postponed for just awful, tragic reasons, and I've never felt like that watching anything in my life. And even just talking about it now, I really haven't gone back to how I felt or how I just like a constant, there was just like a black cloud of just hanging over for so long. It's still there, but and it made you really put shit in perspective. Who the fuck cares if we went 0-6 one week or I had a shitty week? It just doesn't matter. All thoughts and prayers to Damar Hamlin and his family and the Bills organization and the NFL in general and all that shit. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, and you kind of have like, it's normal, I think, to have like a little bit of a crisis of, hey, am I sure I want to be watching this stuff? Like, is this like, this sort of thing? I know I was thinking like, well, if he dies, like I might not want to watch football anymore.
Crazy.
Like I really might not want to. Like, I don't want to be too dramatic, but like I'm not sure I want to be part of this stuff.
Right. Then you realize you want to bet on it.
It was just a freak thing, and like it's not, no player
literally a freak thing. My wife,
no player has died on the field,
right.
ever, right? So it's like,
yeah. But my wife, who's a nurse, was telling me about it, and it is like a millisecond that something could have happened, but also a millisecond on another end, and it just all synced up at the worst possible time. But it's awful. But
and unfortunately, like now, you're like 48 hours later here, and he's really no better. So we're just still hoping he gets better. And
I was talking to her about it too, and I was like, I'm obviously we're rooting for the guy in general. I can't imagine. I would love for him to come back to normal, or even just just be. He doesn't have. When I say normal, I don't mean a football player. I just mean get back to. I want him to have a life, and I want him to see what the country and the world, obviously, anybody football fan or people that are even aware of what happened, just how much this has affected people, or just the thoughts that have gone through people. Like, I mean, this guy is constantly on people's mind for 3 days now, and it's. I really hope he pulls through because. I would love for him to see how much it impacted everybody. He will, unfortunately, in a Dennis Byrd kind of way, always be remembered. But I just hope he's like Dennis Byrd in the fact that he doesn't pass away and he's still here to see how people remember him. But
yes, beautiful thought there, Brian.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't want to keep waxing on it. We've been on it. People have gone through it, but like it is, I've never felt like that.
Never
watching anything.
Me neither.
It was very, very difficult, and it was hard to do anything after that for anybody. It was hard for me to go to bed after that. Like I just was worried about the guy. But right move by the NFL. They got some slack for like, why didn't you cancel it? Yeah, like there's so much shit that goes on, folks, especially week 18 or week 17. Like, just stop trying to find something, you fuckers, to yell at the NFL or
and also like in this case, I would let it. I would give them a pass because they did the right thing.
Right. I mean, people are like, oh well, they should have called it earlier. Okay, would it really matter that much if they called it 10 minutes ago, dude? Like,
it wouldn't make
relax.
any difference. Like, that doesn't make any difference.
And like, I know Goodell's like a JO overall, but like, he's got a job to do. There's a lot of shit on the line, and it is what it is. But
Mariano,
and he mispronounced the second pick overall once. Big deal. All right, that was. That was legendary. With that said, we move on. And honestly, we got to right the ship a little bit here. I mean, it was 2-2 last week. The reason why I brought that up to begin with, we have two we had 2 picks in limbo.
Right.
Woodman had the over. I had the Bills money line.
And I do think they both would have hit. I still stand by that.
I know it was 7-3 when the injury happened, but
Yeah.
still, like I really do think that the Bills had it, and there were already 10 points put up. 5-6 minutes left in the first, I believe. Like you were well on your way.
Yes.
And
very frustrating that I didn't. My other pick that I missed was only by 1 point. I had the over under 52, and it was 51, and it really should have been covered because the Lions certainly covered their part of it. They scored 41 points.
Incredible,
stupid
isn't it?
Bears. I mean, look, I felt kind of bad getting mad at Justin Fields because he was like real beat up in that game. Like he just got like hammered, and he's been hammered the whole second half of this year. I know you whatever, but like he's taken a lot of big hits.
He's been hammered all year.
The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
And
I mean, that's actually a perfect drop for Justin Fields. He plays quarterback like he's loaded. And what does he do? Just takes the fuck off like he's loaded.
Yeah.
You know?
The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
In that sense, he should be your favorite player. But no.
Wow. While people on YouTube can see, I'm literally drinking a beer as he says that.
No, but seriously, I still feel like my process was right there. Like that both defenses were so bad, and like it's just the Bears offense just stinks.
You got good processes. If I took the HWE from last week, the biggest discrepancy on the over-under that I didn't play was that I actually had that way under.
I know you did. Remember, you said it on the show.
Did I mention it? Okay.
You did.
But for that just to be a point off, though.
Yeah, you
honestly, about 4 minutes into the game, you're like, this is way over.
Of course.
Both teams scored a touchdown. I think there was 11 minutes left on the clock.
Were scoring at will. The Lions were scoring at will all game, especially on the ground. My God.
Insane.
Swift and Jamal Williams both had monster games. I mean,
big time.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, that's a lot. That's not about last week, but we tried and we almost had it. And I think we would have gone 4-2, and it would have been almost 5-1 actually, and it was close. So we'll keep trying.
So we're at week 18 here. At Jump the Sharp, by the way, on Twitter is where you find us. On YouTube, just search Jump the Sharp. And of course, you know where to find us, the Degenerate Dungeon, every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, with the fine, handsome folks over at the Glass Cannon Network, twitch.tv/GCN Employee Lounge. I say Sunday mornings, but I should specify that this Sunday will probably be our last Sunday for a few weeks, because after this coming Sunday, the playoffs start, and we will have, the way that works is that the playoffs, especially, man, I'm so pumped for this new playoff format, because it used to be wild card round. You have 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. Well, I got news for you. You get 3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday with the new playoff format.
It's really
Man,
cool.
Is there anything better than NFL playoffs?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me?
I'm sorry, Jim, but it's time. We got one more week. Week 18, though. Week 18, it sounds weird saying, because we were so used to saying week 17 is for the last, for our whole lives until the last year or so. But week 18 is hard, man. This is difficult. I don't do this very often to start the show, Woodman. We do have America's favorite segment coming up, of course, ladies and gentlemen. But week 18, it's difficult, right? It's a tough thing. So I wanted to start and just actually ask you a question, just kind of open things up here. How do you approach a game in week 18? And this none of us may have a pick on a game that technically, quote unquote, doesn't matter. Yeah. But Woodman, how do you approach like a game that in week 18, the NFL, the most popular sport in America, how do you approach a game that technically doesn't matter as a bettor?
Yeah, I don't. Right, I won't
touch.
I won't touch it. I won't do the spread or the over under. If you see a prop in there that you really like and you think the guy will actually play, go to town. But like for me, I wouldn't touch the spread or over under. I did the DWE this week, and I just wrote the word gross for all the ones that I don't like, which is like 7 of them, because I'm just like, I'm not doing this. Like I am not doing this because I can't. The nerds will tell you can just crunch the numbers and you'll still get the right outcome, because you just factor in that the backups are in or whatever. And it's like, no, No, because I still don't know the human aspect, right? If neither team cares, or if I can't possibly guess, if neither team has anything to play for technically, but maybe one of them shows up anyway just because their coach makes them, or they, I don't know,
He tells them they have to be there.
they want to prove maybe that, or they want to spoil something for somebody else, or whatever. All those factors that you can't know, dude, I'm off it. Whereas, like, if I have a game where I know one team is definitely going to be trying really, really hard, because they have a lot to play for, I'm like, okay, that's something to bet on. But if it's one where I don't know, I can't do it. Your thoughts?
Well, you said the word, I believe, earlier, but me with my bets and the way I've approached it since we started doing this show in October of 2020 is the one word that I always use. It's the emotional side of things. Emotion.
Yeah.
I always go towards the emotion. There's a lot of games this week that have zero emotion. However, I this week, even for games that matter, I actually stay away from the emotional side of betting for this whole entire week. All my picks you'll see are pretty much not trendy based, but this week I feel good about these picks too, but I have just feelings that aren't necessarily emotional. They're based on statistics or trends, and that ain't me normally. You guys can vouch for that.
We have a role reversal then, because
okay,
all three of mine are more of a feel kind of thing.
Wow. So we're doing a little Fliposki here.
That's
all
fun.
right, so I'll be the Woodman. I'll try and use 5-6 syllable words, and then you can be me and just kind of fart and drink at the same time.
You're watch out, bro. Your perspicacity is showing.
Oh no! Is it the hat? Do I have to take off my sweater? Nevertheless, you know why I know that word, by the way?
Why do you?
Thank you, Simpsons.
Yes,
Lisa. When she's becoming she's realizing she's becoming like a Simpson.
Yeah.
And all of Homer's ancestors or the people that are there at the party are all like quote unquote dumb.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh no. Lisa. But yeah, I think teams, honestly, in week 18 play too emotional. The teams that it matters for. So I took even the ones that it did matter. If you look at last year with the Colts at Jacksonville and shit like that, it seems to happen. The whole deal, like last week, Tampa was one of my picks because they needed that to win the division. That was an emotional thought, an emotional pick. If that game happened this week, I would have been way the fuck off it. Like the last game of the regular season for teams that it matters, it's almost I go the other way on almost every line. But we'll see.
Then you're not going to like my picks, but that's fine. That's fine.
That is fine. That is fine. Well, before we do, my friend, one thing I will like is bending the elbow a little bit, and I'm curious to see exactly what you got for America's favorite segment. That's right, boys and girls. It's time for What Are We Drinking, Woodman?
A little bit of the bubbly.
All right, so I'm excited about this one. So we promised you a stout, and we're going to do stout January, right?
Well, not the whole month. I can't every week. Is that what we did? Did we say all month? I thought we just said bring one to the table next week, and this is next week.
I think we're going to do it. I thought we said all month. Okay, fine.
I'm fucking doing it all month.
But I'm going to go
look at you.
The classic. It's a great. Honestly, I haven't. And like before the kind of craft beer revolution, this was like my go-to. Like if I was going to the bar and I could order pretty much anything I want, this is a nice classic Guinness stout here.
This dude brings a Guinness. I mean. You want to do this all month and just bring Guinness every damn week?
No, I have other ones.
You know what? I was about to talk shit on Guinness. He brought Guinness to a stout, like crafty thing. I was like, come on.
Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur.
But that was probably the best can open sound that we've heard since we started this show. That was aces.
Thank you.
Well done.
Also, you can't talk crap on it because Guinness is awesome.
I agree with that, by the way.
Absolutely delicious. It's a classic, beautiful stout.
I'm starting to get back on the Guinness train. I drank a few of them back in the day, but back in the day, to me, it was more about quantity than quality.
Yeah, well, and you probably, back in the day, I bet you didn't like that. It's pretty low ABV, Guinness.
That's true. Another reason. But honestly, quote unquote, back in the day, as we keep saying, no one even knew what the fuck ABV stood for.
No,
you know,
that's true. You didn't think
we're
about it.
drinking
You're like,
Beast and Natty, and
yeah,
I'm doing Hurricane 40s, and
right. And the truth was like the beer could have been as weak as you wanted. We would have just kept drinking enough until it was enough. You know,
just keep drinking them, baby. I love every bit of it. But yeah, he brings a Guinness. I don't think you need to necessarily tell everybody about it. If you haven't had one, you like something.
I love them. I think they're actually, people might not know it's pretty low calorie. They have a vitamin E, I believe, or D. I forget which one.
Vitamin Ed.
It's honestly like really, really good. If it's been a while, you should get a Guinness sometime.
Yeah, that's
really
the thing.
nice.
Shout out to Muscles Marinara, who drank some a good amount. And I think I had one recently. It's really good. It got me back into it, and of course the big guy too. My father-in-law, he loves them as well. But yeah, I've gotten back into that a little bit, and I need to purchase some for myself. To be honest with you, like having three Guinnesses one night sounds really good.
Yeah, just put them in the fridge, and they're there when you need them.
Or 3 Guinness, but a 3.8 on Untapped. I don't know. Like I just went to look and see what Untapped said about it after we were doing the top 10 crafts of the year, or top 10 beers of the year, and Yingling Lager was 3. I love myself a lager. I wouldn't necessarily put it as the third best beer of the year
world.
2022 or in the world.
Right.
But yeah, for said Muscles Marinara, I would also like to give a shout out because the vegetable drawer is getting really, really thin.
Okay.
That, by the way, Muscles, is not a wink at you. I didn't mean that sound like, hey, yo, stock me back up. This one looks like a Guinness, and it just happens to be. You see what I mean? Kind of got like that can.
Sure.
It's called Gunner's Daughter Milk Stout.
Okay.
From Mast Landing Brewing Company. And we're going to look it up on Untappd real quick. It is a 5.5, so nothing crazy. And I'm trying to look and see if I can see. Where is Mast Landing? Stout brewed with natural flavors. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, Woody. Oh, no. We'll see. I'm looking up on Untappd. Ready? A beautifully aromatic and balanced milk stout with delicious notes of peanut butter.
Oh, no.
Oh, we can't do this. But then it also says coffee and dark chocolate. I like coffee, but I don't know.
And what is it? What's the rating?
The rating actually is a 4.1, so giddy up to that.
Okay, okay.
All right, well, I'm trying to. Where is Mast Landing? Oh, Westbrook, Maine. Oh, I'm always down with a Maine brewski too.
Yeah, you
Let's
love
have
it.
at it. Let's see how the new microphone picks up this.
Ooh, that's a great sound.
Good? All right, giddy up. For all the folks that enjoy color videos on YouTube, let's go. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
It is as I see. It is a thinner. It's not really. It's dark, of course.
Agreed.
But it is like thin.
Yep.
It is. It does not look like it's a Guinness.
It's lower viscosity.
There you go. Not a lot of perspicacity on us. No, we'll see here. Please. It also has a side note. Does not contain nuts or peanuts. So I think that's a good sign. Let's see.
Okay.
Here we go. Ah, damn it.
He hates it so much.
No, I don't. It went away quick, actually. I'll tell you what. Matt, do you remember the other one? When I put it up to my mouth, when I put it up to my face? I got the same smell, dude. They gave me the same smell. However, the taste, way better. But the first thing I taste is peanut butter. But it goes away quickly, and it does kind of go into that dark chocolatey mode. Okay. This will not... Dude, I don't think I've ever seen this, though. It's like I don't know if I could do... let me try for the folks on YouTube. I'm going to try and see. It like, you know, when you take a drink of a soda and you put it down and it's just still bubbling at the top? Sure. This is like fizzy at the top. Let me see if I can do this. YouTube, do you see these?
Yeah.
It's not really doing it that big a justice, but it's like coming, you know how it comes up from the bottom of the glass, these little bubbles.
Like champagne.
Like champagne, yeah. Yeah, this is all right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it definitely peanut butter is the overwhelming flavor, and
yikes,
we'll see.
That's
Thank
not our
God
favorite.
that I brought the Nugget Nectar as a backup just in case. Shout out to Troy LaValle of Glass Cannon.
Big time.
Nugget Nectar
Introduced me to
well.
it. It's I think one of his all-time favorite beers. It's absolutely one of my all-time favorite beers. Thank you, Troy, for introducing it all those years ago on your old podcast, Beer Pressure, which I was a guest on. Yep, I was a guest on his podcast, Beer Pressure.
I didn't know this.
Yep. And
I wonder if any Nation members who are listening to the show based on our cross platforming knew that Troy did a podcast called, because I didn't. This is news to me.
Oh, it was great. I mean, he only did it for one season, but it was really cool. He did a lot more interesting than I. But the format was really cool, right? So he would have a 6-pack of some good beer that he really liked, and you'd each drink 3, and when you were done with the third one, the show was over. And he would have different topics that he knew you were interested in or knew something about, and he would just kind of be the interviewer. And the kind of like and it's like a longer format. That
sounds fantastic.
Yeah, like he's like the Joe Rogan, right, in that situation. And he's just asking you stuff that he knows you know about, and just letting you wind you up, let you go, and by the time you have 3. So what he did with me was he saved baseball until I had my second beer, and then the third beer was philosophy. So I'm already like,
he got you
drinking,
hook, line, and sinker.
And it was good. It was really good the way he did it. It was cool. It was a cool format. I actually loved his show. I like listening to it too. It was great.
Of course. Troy's badass.
But he doesn't have time to do that stuff now.
So. No, they're a little bit more busier, those folks over there.
Anyway, shout out Nuggies.
Anyway,
so good.
So let's get a little philosophical on some winning NFL bets for the week. And don't take this as me. You already said I'm not going to be a fan based on what I said earlier. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to enjoy your picks or agree with the side. But my absence visually over the next 15 seconds, don't take as me not agreeing with your pick. It takes as me having to get another beer because I'm out on that one.
And you don't really like the other one. I got you. Okay.
God damn. But nevertheless, I do want to start by documenting your first pick, and then I'll think about it while I go meander for a brewski tooski. As always, leading off playing center field, the Woodman, David Woody, with his picks of the week. What do you got to start out, my friend?
Yeah, jot this one down, pal. Maybe this will shock you. Maybe not. Let's pick against the New England Patriots again. Let's take the Bills at -7. The Bills are also going to be very motivated by what has happened with their teammate.
Jeez, I said I wouldn't do emotional picks, and you said, well, I will. And holy fuck, did you start out with a bag
but
of
it's
cheese
not
milk.
just emotion. The other piece to this is that they still have a 43% chance of getting that first round bye. And I think I guess that's over as if the Chiefs win, Greg, because don't the Chiefs play on Saturday?
Who won did the Chiefs play Buffalo this year?
So the Chiefs are 13-3 and the Bills are 12-3. They've
right.
played
So
one
the Bills
fewer
win both
game.
if the Chiefs win this weekend and the Bills win both theirs, they'll have a tied record. Did they face off this year?
No, they
I can't
won't.
remember.
See, they won't have a tied record though, right?
Oh, they won't?
Because they'll both have 13 losses, but the Bills played one fewer. The Bills played one fewer game because the game got canceled against the Bengals.
No, I'm saying if they did end up playing that game somehow and the Bills win,
then they would have the same record and would come down to a tiebreaker.
And the Bills did beat the Chiefs earlier this year, so the Bills do have plenty to play for here, as do the Chiefs.
Correct. Both
I
teams
can't
very
imagine
much,
them not playing that game eventually.
Well, 538 says that as of today, the Chiefs have a 48% chance to get that first round bye, and you know how much these teams want that bye, dude. Especially now there's only one.
That's
even
why
more so.
This playoff format is badass.
It makes Week 18 matter a lot more than it used to.
For sure.
So anyway, for the good teams, I'm saying. So so as of today, the Chiefs have 48% chance to get the bye. The Bills 43. I'm going to call that close enough to that. That's basically even. I'll take my chances that whatever the math works out, whatever happens in the Chiefs game, whatever's going to happen with the replaying against the Bengals or not, probably not going to happen, I guess. Go ahead. I'll take my chances. I will take my chances that the Bills, no matter what else happens, are going to be very, very motivated and up for this game. They're going to be up for it for a lot of reasons, among which are their teammate, Damar Hamlin, and the playoff positioning and the chance to get that first round bye. So for all those reasons and more, The Chiefs will be super up for this game. The Patriots, of course, have nothing to play for
You
at
mean
all.
the Bills? You said Chiefs.
I meant Bills, excuse me.
It's okay. Maybe the Chiefs will be too. You don't know.
That's true. I don't know. The Patriots have nothing to play for in a sense because they would have. Well, I mean, technically they could still make the playoffs, right? They'd have to win this game outright.
Technically, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, but they're not going to make the playoffs.
So why even play the game?
No, it's not that, man. I'm just saying they're not going to actually make it though, right? Because they're not going to actually win this game outright. And if they don't win this game outright, then they need like 6 other things to happen, which are not going to happen. So the Patriots aren't making it. You can make the case that taking the 7 points is a sucker bet here because they'll be trying really hard. I just think the Bills will be trying that much harder. I think the Bills are like super ultra crazy motivated for this game. You can think that that's wrong or stupid, and that's fine, but you're not going to change my opinion. The Bills are going to be crazy up for this game and probably win by like 30 points.
Whoa! A 30 piece. How about that?
like 41 to 10 or something like that.
All right. Math checks out. My man. You're just thinking of the Lions Bears game all over again.
I'm still sore about it.
Oh man.
Yeah,
But all right. Bills -7 right now, right?
Yeah, I think that's I'm just hammering it. I'm hammering it. I have it on both sites here for full units. I'm all over this.
Oh, my man, pots and
yeah,
pans.
I do.
I like that.
I love it. They're home too, by the way. Just if that matters at all, they're home as well.
Yeah. All right, dig it. Yeah. So here comes the weird one. You know, like I'm saying, this week is just. I love these picks for this reason. It's actually a different. A comforting approach, almost a different approach that I've enjoyed, but I enjoy the approach because of what this week means. It's not an approach I would have enjoyed in week 6 or something, you know.
Okay.
I'm just going down the line here. I didn't do an HWE. I didn't think this is the week to try that. Like you said, you wrote the word gross in 7 games or whatever.
I did.
And one of them is just that I just saw something. So here, let me just do a quick breakdown. I'm going to give you guys this week a pick, a straight up pick against the spread. I'm going to give you another spread-ish pick that is kind of like a Hollywood special. You'll see what I mean when I get to that. And then my last one is going to be a prop. We haven't done props this year like we did last year, mainly because we got off to a slow start. And then, we started the year with our props. We weren't hitting them. And then we just wanted to fucking focus, like regroup. And we did. And thank God we did that because we really got hot for a little while.
Sure did.
And also the dungeon, the degenerate dungeon that we do on Sundays is a lot of props, a lot of prop-based commentary there. So we kind of got our fix on that. And we hope you guys did too and went over and either watched it or saw it on the video on demand on Twitch. Once again, by the way, you can watch that show way after it's done. But nevertheless. So the first one, I was like, let me give it a straight up pick. And I was looking at spreads and I was bouncing back and forth with a couple. And there's a couple that I like. And then I kind of thought about, holy shit, wait a second. There's a total that I was just like, how are they going to, like if I did do an HWE, the total would start with a 3. This is 40.5. And I'm going to go with the under. And it's the Buccaneers Falcons. It's the total is 40.5. Just give me the under on this. Like,
it's mostly backups for both teams.
Yeah,
right?
Tommy and the Bucks. It's basically starters for the Falcons, but that's backups for most teams.
Right.
Tommy and the Bucks here are literally under the radar, as bad as the Broncos when it comes to over-unders this year and offensive production and all that. You know how we were just fading the Broncos. I think I did Broncos games twice this year on unders, and we hit both, but I should have just done them more. Both teams, so here's the thing. The Broncos, they've been under 11 of 16 games. Okay, their unders have been 11-5. If you would just bet unders, you would go 11-5 with the Broncos. Same thing with the Bucks.
Yeah,
people don't really realize that, but I know people knew that Tommy and the boys were struggling, but they came out struggling. At the end, they would end up winning a game miraculously. The GOAT, but he didn't look like the GOAT for, fucking 40 minutes of the game. The unders are also 11-5 for Buccaneers games. So 40.5, like honestly, 40 points in the NFL this year is really tough to come by. If you look at a lot of over-unders this week, they're right around. So look, here's the thing. I just have it in front of me. Buccaneers, Falcons, 40.5. Texans, Colts is 38. Panthers, Saints, 41.5. Patriots, Bills, 42.5. Ravens, Bengals, 42. Giants, Eagles, 43. Cowboys, Commanders, 41. Like they're all right around that area. So they're basically saying like this is kind of how many points are scored in an NFL game nowadays. It's right around that 40-ish mark.
Yeah.
You're giving me like I see Giants, Eagles, I see Patriots, Bills. Yeah, okay, they could easily go over. Then I got Buccaneers, Falcons. Still it's that window dressing of Tom Brady. But we got to realize what this guy has done literally for almost the entire game for forever now. It's just nothing.
Well,
and
I don't think he's going to play.
No, I know. I'm getting to that.
Oh, sorry.
Like this is with the GOAT.
Right.
They've done nothing until the end of the game. Well, guess what? That dude ain't there this week to save them because they don't give a shit. There are two teams, ladies and gentlemen, that are locked. Besides the ones that are out of the playoff picture, there are two that are locked into where they are going to be for the playoffs.
Right. Locked into the specific seed.
The Buccaneers and the Giants. They are the two teams that no matter what happens this week, whatever they do, whatever other teams do, are playing in that. They are going to be in that seed. The Buccaneers will be the seed 4 no matter what. They're not going to start shit because they already look like junk. And you think they're going to – and I get it. They'll be like, oh, whoa, Hollywood, wait a second. They're not going to start like they're starters. Well, that means the Falcons just have a field day. No. We're talking Desmond Ridder here. Like, where's the offense going to come from Tampa? I don't know. Nowhere. Where's the offense going to come from Atlanta? I mean, this could be like
where's
two
it come from all year?
Right, exactly.
Nowhere.
Even
happened.
with the starters. Maybe
Right.
this is back ass words, and it's like, they have now that both teams have even less than starters in, I'm just saying that for Atlanta's side, that all of a sudden like points are put up. No, I don't buy it one bit.
Agreed.
There's literally nothing to play for Tampa, and pretty much for Atlanta too. Who's going to light up the scoreboard for Atlanta? The Falcons haven't been part of a 40-point plus game in 6 weeks. So I'll take under 40.5 right now, Bucks Falcons.
I love it. That's what a great pick. I wish I'd thought of it. It's great.
Well, I wish you would have too, but if you did that, then I would have looked like I was tailing you. But now you can tail my ass, all right?
Give it to me hard.
All right. My second one, similar to the first, it's a team that is at home facing an inferior team that is going to be highly, highly motivated to win the game.
Oh, this is such a role reversal this week. It's
I know.
incredible.
I know, man. It's also a team
Motivation. That doesn't count for shit.
It's also a team I've been on a lot this year.
Uh-oh.
And it's
Can
the
I guess?
Steelers. It's the Steelers.
Okay.
I'll take the Steelers at home here. I know people are going to say, hey, this makes me nervous because, for the first time last week, Deshaun Watson looked a little bit more like himself. Kind of, dude. He had the touchdowns, but he still only had 160 yards.
Yeah, it went 9 of 18. Like, he's not setting the world on fire.
160 yards. And and it's not like he ran a lot either. I think he had less than 20 running yards. He still doesn't look like he doesn't look like himself. And unfortunately, he has hamstrung Chubb largely as well.
Whoa.
It's just,
Whoa, what has he got? He hamstrung his Chubb.
Yeah, you strung but chubby. But look, that offense is still a little bit. I think the offense is still out of sorts for Cleveland. They'll probably get it together by next year. I would imagine that's probably a good offense next year. Bet they'll figure it out. But they don't have it figured out now. And 1 week isn't going to change my mind on that. And then I'll say for the Steelers, I mean, if you've seen, it was, first of all, the game-winning play by Pickett was fantastic.
That was an incredible throw.
If Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen made that play, we'd all be gushing about it. The only reason we don't gush more is because it was this guy who's, he has struggled at times, for sure.
No, we said it on our NFL draft preview last year. Kenny Pickett was the best quarterback in this draft.
He's good. He has shown me something that he's going to be a good player in this league, I think, for a while. And
he is definitely a franchise quarterback. I'm not saying he's Big Ben reincarnate necessarily, but I think he could have a similar
better
career.
than the kind of Sam Darnolds of the world, right? I think.
Absolutely.
So I think I see enough there. I see enough from the Pittsburgh offense, and it's only 2.5 points here. It's only 2.5 points. I like that a lot. I think I think they can, I think they can certainly cover that with a field goal easily, if not probably by a lot more. Cleveland has no reason here that they'd be better off honestly losing, for draft purposes, and because they do. No, do they? No, they don't. They don't. That's wrong. Excuse me. That's wrong. I'm incorrect. They do not have a first round pick
Understand.
because they had to trade it for Deshaun Watson. So they don't. They don't. But nonetheless, they still have no motivation to win the game. Pittsburgh highly motivated as of today. 21% chance to make the playoffs. 2 weeks ago, that was 0.5%.
Wow.
Last week at this time, that was 1%. It's now 21. If they were to win this game, they're very excited. They're very motivated. You saw it last week. I think they can easily cover this field goal.
All right. Oh boy. Don't like it. I got weird feelings about Cleveland this week.
You pick as the Browns.
No. If I picked the spread this week, they were like one of my top two. I was going to pick Cleveland. I just think that the way Pittsburgh won last week, I just think I think that Pittsburgh kind of has just done their thing. They're now like a darling. I was actually surprised this wasn't closer to a pick 'em in general. I think Cleveland is way more talented. It just depends on if they really play. I do think that Cleveland, in almost every facet, besides T.J. Watt, is and even that you got Myles Garrett on the other side. I think Cleveland's just a much more talented ball club.
They
win games like this, dude.
They
it's weird.
like it all year.
Yeah, but they did it 2 weeks ago. They did. They just play weird at weird times, and this is like a divisional matchup.
If that were true, then why are they 7-9? I mean, I don't know, man. This is just a team that just hasn't been able to put together all year.
I got it.
I don't think they do it in Pittsburgh this week. I don't think so.
Giddy up. Hey, man, that's why we do the show.
Sometimes we disagree. That's okay.
And guess what? I think I'm just going to bet Pittsburgh just to tell my boy, because that's what we do here. I always, every week, do a 6-leg parlay of all of our John. So I will be including Pittsburgh. I'm not saying I'm putting money on Cleveland yet. But yeah, giddy up to that. I respect you, my friend.
Thank you.
Let's see if you respect this. Because, oh boy, what the fuck? When I made the bet, or I'm sorry, when I wrote down the bet, because I didn't make it right away, unfortunately, it was -2.5. And by the way, this is a little funky one. But right before the show, it went to -3.5. So that's a kind of a good thing for the feel, but I could have got a 2.5, but it moved.
I think it moved.
It sure did. And this is a funky one. Ready? Because, and Joey OB over at the Glass Cannon gets on me for this. He doesn't like these style of picks. I told you I was going to do one traditional, and it was an over-under, so maybe it's not totally traditional because people hate betting totals, and they hate when you're betting the under.
Yeah, they do.
But,
because you have to sweat it out till the end. That's why.
But you know what? Like, people always think it's not that hard. It's almost as enjoyable for me now that I've been like betting unders and winning, especially this season. It's almost as enjoyable to. It's like being we're Eagles fans here. Dak Prescott lines up and it's 3rd and 8, and we really need to stop. Like, it's kind of fun to root for the antithesis of offense sometimes.
Yeah.
But nevertheless. This is a quarter bet. I'm going to pick a quarter. What quarter do you think I'm going to pick? First, second, or third?
You usually
fourth?
do the first.
I normally do the first. I'm not doing the first.
Are you doing fourth?
I'm not doing the fourth.
Okay.
What do you think now? Come on.
I have a 50-50 shot of getting this right.
You sure do. Do you want to phone a friend?
It's got to be second quarter.
It is the second quarter.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, good for you.
You
Why
picked
is
it right.
Second quarter.
Second quarter, the Eagles, Giants. Give me the Birds. -3.5. It was -2.5 a few hours ago. That's a lot. It's almost like a line for a game here. I mean, this Woodman just picked -2.5 for a full game. What are you doing, Hollywood? -3.5 Eagles, second quarter versus Giants.
They've had a lot of big second quarters, right?
A lot of big second quarters. But here's the thing. This is a tough game. I think everybody that's listening to the show understands what is on the line for the Birds and what isn't, or is not even applicable for the Giants. It's a tough game, but you got to find like these nooks and crannies. Like shout out to Thomas's English Muffins. Like the nooks and crannies are where you got to get to this week on week 18. And I found some delicious ones. Put a little butter on that. I don't do the jelly. Certainly not jam. If you do jam over jelly, get out of here. Stop listening. But I won't be surprised to see the Eagles and Hurts. They're still saying that Hurts is questionable. There's no way he doesn't start. But nevertheless, I wouldn't be surprised to see this team start slow. So the first quarter, it ain't really moving me that much. I'm not going Birds first quarter. One, I could see Giants getting the ball first no matter what, whoever wins the coin toss. Two, the injury for Hurts. And three, the way the Eagles offense has been moving, it doesn't seem like you put Hurts in, it's going to work. I still think that there needs to be a little bit of a mesh. So,
well, also, won't the Giants be sitting all their?
Well, here's the thing. That's a big question mark. Back in the day, I don't know. I don't want to do it back in the day because it's really not that long ago. But I don't know if you remember. You remember that Tom Coughlin story when he was with the Giants that year that the Patriots were 15-0 going into Week 17.
Yes,
they were playing the Giants. The Giants didn't need to win that game. They were going into the playoffs once again at like a 9-8 record or something.
Yeah, 9-7 back
9-7 back then, and they were going to make the playoffs no matter what. And they once again their seed didn't matter, and it was the record. Will the Patriots have a undefeated season? And Tom Coughlin started everybody the whole game and just tried to beat the Patriots, and they came close. They almost got them. Patriots ended up winning late, and so Tom Coughlin says,
really, technically, neither of them should have played their starters at all.
Yeah,
right?
even the Patriots, they were going for history. I get it, but yeah,
I guess, but you already have the number one seed locked up. Don't you want to win the Super Bowl? Like,
so
save
that's
all your
style, right? And I agree, but I mean, for the most part,
I don't know if I could really do it. It's like I always say, I would take the guy out who has the perfect game if he's thrown 140 pitches. Would I? If I was really the manager, would I really pull him? I don't know. It's hard to do. You say it, and it's probably the smart thing, but you might not really do it.
And if you look at Dable, the head coach for the Giants, he was asked this question, and he was really dancing around it. And someone actually said about, like, don't you remember about, what Tom Coughlin did? And he even said, well, that's like a different story. They were going against a team that was chasing history. And basically the way he approached the answer to that question, I was like, well, he's sitting as starters. I see them starting their starters for a little bit, actually. So even more the reason why I'm out on that first quarter.
Got it.
But
maybe he gives Jones and Barkley and them
a couple
one
reps,
series,
maybe 2 series. Yep, yeah, to get that little NFC East boost in your blood before you go, because they're playing next week. The Eagles aren't, hopefully. But I don't think. First of all, the Giants starters are not going to play that whole game, and I think they will start, but I don't think they get out of the first quarter. Even more the reason, -3.5 second quarter.
Yes.
Other reasons. I told you about how I think the Eagles are going to start slow, and then they're just going to fucking mesh. And it's all going to happen in that second quarter. Boom, pow. There's going to be 2 Eagles touchdowns. They're putting up 14 in the second quarter. And the track record for the Birds this season in the second quarter is insane. The Eagles own the second quarter this year. Now, don't look at the last 2 weeks, Gardner Minshew and all that shit. That doesn't really equate to what I'm talking about because it doesn't fucking matter because it won't be the personnel on the field this week. Birds -3.5 second quarter versus Giants. You do have to pay for it juice-wise a little bit, -120, but I'm down with it. If you go to DraftKings, they have that shit at -4.5. So it's not like you're getting alleviated going over there. They're actually saying, no, the Birds are going to cover by 5 probably, but yeah, I think it's, probably like when you look at the box score, you're going to see second quarter, it's going to be 14 for Eagles, 3 for the Giants.
Seems likely. Honestly, like very likely the Giants are shut out in the second quarter just because they'll have just pulled all the starters, and which means the bench guys haven't had a chance to kind of get in the game yet.
And don't get me wrong, if they don't start their starters, then fine, even better. I'm
even better.
The Eagles have found their mojo in the second quarter, even in all these badass games that Hurts has been a part of. It's very rare that they started out with 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. It's hard to do that. For some reason, the second quarter, you got the 2-minute warning, you got timeouts being used more. There's a lot more of a occurrence for points. And give me the Eagles -3.5. Giddy up.
And that's the bottom line.
That's a new one. That's good.
Kinda. I haven't done that one in a while.
So for my third pick, it really should be first, but I just it kind of like gives me pause. I was off by so much, so I'm gonna put it third. But I can't not make it a pick.
That's too much. I hate this one.
You might like this one. This is a team we've both been on. We've both been on this team a lot this year. This is the Dolphins here.
Yeah.
So
I like this one. Yep.
The Dolphins are actually getting points. It's +1 right now. Yes, it's certainly true if you're worried about this pick. They are starting, I believe, their third string guy. I don't think Bridgewater will be able to go, although there's still a chance he would. And earlier this year, he actually had some huge statistical games. Like a couple of his games, both Waddle and Hill had well over 100 yards each and touchdowns each. So, like if he can play, like who knows, right? Even although with Sauce Gardner, it's gonna be tough. But like, nevertheless, I don't really care about that, honestly. I really don't. Here's what I care about. The Jets are down bad. The Jets continue to just lost. They continue to lose every single game and look like a joke. I mean, boy, it is a far fall from that team that I thought came out this year. Early this year, they looked tough. They were like Joe Flacco was throwing 50 times and they were, moving the ball
defense,
enough on offense. And the defense was incredible. And as the year has gone on, it's really just the two corners who are still great and like not so much getting the pressure, not so much making the tackles by the linebackers over the middle field, not so much doing anything else except covering. That's it. The cover of the two outside receivers is fine. It's still good, right? Very good.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
That's
it.
So
yeah, if you look at last week, they shut down DK Metcalf, but they still got smoked.
But it didn't matter. Exactly right. So I think, and Miami obviously has a lot to play for here. The Dolphins, as of today, have a pretty darn good chance to make the playoffs. 42%. That's a lot more than the other teams kind of around them in terms of record. Just when you look at all the other things that have to happen, right? But basically, they win this game at home against a down bad, horrible Jets team. They just win the game by 1 point. My pick hits, and they probably make the playoffs. I love this pick. It probably should have been 1, but I was almost thrown off by how far off it was. I had written down -6. So I was just off, and it weirded me out. I almost didn't make the pick but that's not my style. My style is I don't care how far off I am. If it's a pick by DWE, I got to do it, and I'm doing it.
Oh, good for you.
Give me the Dolphins. I don't give a fuck who the quarterback is. They're going to win this game. They really want to make the playoffs. They haven't, and yeah, agreed. Okay, people are going to say, oh, yeah, well, they're not going to go anywhere when they make the playoffs. I agree. They're going to get fucking smoked by the Chiefs or Bills or somebody good. I get it. But they want to make the playoffs. It's a younger team.
Are who we thought they were.
It's a pretty young team. They want to make the playoffs. I think they will do it. They'll take care of business at home against the Jets. Come hell or high water, some way or another, they find a way to just get the W. And I get them +1 here, so they just got to get the W, and I'm good.
Yeah, I almost, one of the spreads I was looking at was Jets -1 for a little bit.
Yeah,
because I just remember all of the earlier portions of the year where they just played like hungry fucking hyenas or what. I don't even.
They really
did. They were just at it, and they had a coach who enveloped it and illustrated it terrifically. And man, the last few weeks, he looks distraught on the sideline. He looks. I wouldn't even say the word unhappy. It's not like he looks like he just looks like disappointed or like upset with, I guess, himself a little bit or something. He looks like he's done. It looks like sometimes when a college coach comes to the NFL and they're like, fuck, man, I'm used to 11, 12 games. Like these these week 14, 15, 16 games, they're tough. Like, I don't even want to do this anymore. I need a break. That's how Robert Saleh looks right now. And I thought about it, and I was like, you know what though? He's got the ability to really boost that team. After the way they played in Seattle last week, I said, I'm going to really, 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 really take a hard look at the Jets for Week 18. Then I saw they're at Miami, and then I know what Miami's been going through, and I also know who their quarterback may or may not be or whatever. But to me, sometimes that shit just doesn't matter. There's one team that has a lot on the line. I'm with you here. This will be the one kind of Hollywoodish, John, that, yeah, if I were to go with, I'm with you on this. So they got a lot to play for. The Jets don't. They have nothing now.
I'll just throw out this too, like the one thing that you could say is, well, if Miami's really starting Skylar Thompson or whatever the guy's name is.
The guy from Breaking Bad. I think he was Walter White's wife.
But is Mike White better than that? He certainly didn't play like it last week against Seattle.
I've been telling everybody all year, like, why the fuck do people think that because they have Michael White, they're going to be a good team? It doesn't make any fucking sense,
He looked as bad last week as you can. That's as bad as you can play the position in the NFL.
I'm sitting there on the dungeon. I'm chasing Goff interceptions. Like, why am I had Michael White interception earlier in the year. Like, why did I just not chase that? The dude stinks. People are like, oh my God, Michael White's back. What?
I feel like he just doesn't. I mean, okay. It's an improvement over Zach Wilson. I give you that.
I won't even give you that. I'm not even kidding. I'd rather just have the fucking young MILF banger just go to hell of the town than throw Mike White up.
Actually, you're right. You know what? You're talking me into it, because here's the thing. Neither of them sees the field at all.
No.
But one of them has a rocket arm.
Exactly.
And it's not Mike White.
Right. And it's, I mean, he probably doesn't have as much talent as people thought. To me, I was like, this dude is not even NFL ready. I couldn't even believe that he was a second pick. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just didn't
get
it.
Arm's great.
Also,
I mean, the arm is...
did you see the way he walked out on the stage when he got drafted? Like, that is not a kid who's ready for New York. It was embarrassing.
It's ridiculous.
Anyway, so, but I'm down with it. Go Dolphins, because I'm on board with that. Okay, so my third pick of the week. So I said we're doing this. I am going to give a little bit of homage to our old format. I'm going to give a prop.
Let's do it, buddy.
And it's a touchdown prop. And it's like, what the fuck? I know there's a little bit of, you got to listen, folks, just pay for this one. Pay for it. It's minus 145. But when I tell you the person's name, you're going to be like, when the fuck did I ever get this guy at minus 145? Yeah. It's Travis Kelce. Okay. It's Travis Kelce to score a touchdown. Chiefs at the Raiders. It's minus 145. I get it. It's minus 160 at DraftKings. Do your shopping. You want to throw him with somebody else that you know is going to score a touchdown, get plus money, have at it. But just pay for this one. Go 145 to win 100. Okay, well, I didn't officially say that, okay? I don't want to hear shit when it doesn't hit, okay?
You want to look at that again?
No, I still would do it, but that's what I'll be doing. But when's the last time that you've got odds like this for Travis Kelce to score a touchdown? So pounce on that. I'll tell you why it's 120, 145. Here we go. When's the last time Travis Kelce scored a touchdown? Ruh-roh. Woodman. 6 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah.
He hasn't scored a touchdown in the last 5 games. Okay, Hollywood, what are you doing to me here? What are you telling me to do? What the fuck? Well, it's Travis Kelce. And it's Pat Mahomes, and they got to do their thing to hold on to the number 1 seed. Las Vegas gave up a touchdown to George Kittle last week, a tight end, right? You're not going to like what I'm going to say next. Prior to that, the Raiders did not give up a touchdown to a tight end the previous, how many weeks do you think, Woodman? To put a number out there.
I don't know. 5.
10. So what are you doing to me, Hollywood? Why are you putting me in this direction? You're saying, wait a second, Raiders haven't given up a touchdown to a tight end besides last week. Before that, 10 weeks in a row, they were good against tight ends. Travis Kelce hasn't scored in a month and a half. Go ahead.
Can I guess what the reason is?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you not want me to?
No. I said, mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
Because Mahomes is going for the record.
Oh, well, that's not even, I don't even have it on my list. So thanks for fuel to the fire, Woodman. I appreciate that. One, it's because you take the best tight end of our generation when he doesn't score for 5 weeks, you take him.
Of course.
That's one. Like, I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter who's playing, what they've done. The second one is Mahomes is going for the record. No, that's my new second one. My third bullet point and final stat, and if you want to go ahead and take it. Vegas, 10 weeks before the Kittle touchdown last week, right? 10 weeks not giving up a touchdown to a tight end. The 10 weeks ended 11 weeks before that, 11 games before that. They played the Kansas City Chiefs. Travis Kelce scored 4 touchdowns in that game. So,
wow.
The Chiefs know how to get him the ball against the Raiders where it counts. 4 touchdowns in one game by Travis Kelce. I think it was week 5 or whatever it was, but nevertheless, I will take Kelce minus 145. It's not the best sell job I've ever done on a touchdown score, but for me, it's arguably the greatest tight end of all time who hasn't scored in a month and a half, and it's a team he scored 4 touchdowns. Like, I honestly believe sometimes people look at that shit and they'll be like, well, yeah, he scored 4. Like, the Raiders are going to – it's just not that easy to just say, okay, neutralize that guy after what happened. It's not that easy. And I think tongue-in-cheek wise, Chiefs, I see Travis scored 2. I think it's going to be something funny where they're like, you're going to be seeing flashbacks. Look at what he did. He'll score 1 touchdown. Then you'll be like, oh, see what he did in Kansas City. Scored 4. And then, like, the next drive, he scores another one. You're like, oh, shit, he's going to do it again. I see him scoring 2. I'm going to be making that bet on a side piece and maybe some round robins. But Travis Kelce scored a touchdown minus 145 is just like, for me, I'm salivating.
I love it. And, I'll just, so when I say the record, well, I want to clarify what I'm saying. The single season
touchdown record.
Passing yards.
Oh, passing
record.
yards.
But
record. That's right.
Come on, that's going to come with a Kelce TD if he does all that. He has to throw for 430 to get it. Now he can do that.
He could totally fucking do it.
He's done a lot more than that before. So he does 400 yards kind of with some regularity. So we'll see here. But even if he's just trying to get it, that probably means 1 or 2 more seam shots down to Kelce, right? Doesn't it? I mean, we would think.
It's, of course. Yeah. Kelce's scoring this week.
Agreed. I agree.
Seeing on Twitter here, it says 10 hours old. So this is to show you how often I'm able to look at Twitter, even doing show prep. But Nathan Peterman is starting for the Chicago Bears on Sunday. Justin Fields will not be playing.
Yeah. Well, they said he was pretty banged up.
Yeah. So,
but I can't bet on that game.
He will not be getting the rushing record.
I cannot bet on that game.
Vikings minus 7. They're not really.
The last several times the Vikings have effed me, I cannot. I can't do it. I will not be betting on the Vikings to win anything for at least the rest of this year, and maybe not next year either. They have burned me so bad, and now they burned you last week too.
I'm looking now to do a 2-leg parlay.
I'm glad I didn't tail you with as much of my cash as I wanted to. I still tailed you and lost money on them, but I thought about doing like a big hefty John, and they're an infuriating team this year, I'll tell you, buddy.
I'm embarrassed.
How do you have a team that goes 12-4 and I'm on them almost every week and I almost never win any money?
Yeah, it's not a fun team to have money on.
We've gotten them wrong a lot. What are you supposed to do?
You just can't get the finger on the pulse of them.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Anyway, those are the 6 picks of the week. Wait a second.
I can throw an honorable mention as well. If
you don't have to do an honorable mention.
What do you got?
I just want to do one thing. It's week 18. I'm not going to do it for the playoffs because the playoffs.
You got a futures? What do you got? What are you doing?
I just want to hear you say one thing. I just want to hear you say it. We're going to just say it.
Tease me, Daddy.
Oh, it gets me in the feels. Oh, baby.
Give it to me hard.
So follow at your own risk, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get out of the regular season, we're getting to the, it's like we felt like the teasy just, it's like someone wrapped a cinder block to our ankle and threw us in the Atlantic Ocean, right? We're working our way back up, though. We got big upper body strength. There's something happened to that cinder block. I don't know, but we're trying to get right to the crest. We're almost there. It's week 18. It's the last week of the regular season. Let's have a little fun here. I'm going to make it an official easy teasy. It is time for an easy teasy. That's right. But maybe we can win. I think maybe we won one that 1 week, and then I came back and lost it again. So I think we're like literally 1-6 on easy teases this year. But
Yeah,
it's week 18. Once again, quote unquote, or asterisk, follow at your own risk. But I wanted to do something fun because of the 2 Saturday games this week. I feel like I got a pretty good handle on them, so I just wanted to see, what a teasy would work out for.
Yeah.
And it's time to go. It's time to run with it because I really, really fucking liked it. The 2 games are KC at Vegas.
Great.
KC minus 9.5 on the road. I'm not really comfortable. I know Vegas, like, I'm not comfortable with the 9.5, but I am comfortable with, say it with me,
3.5. Sure.
So give me that, because all of a sudden Vegas starts Jared Stidham and people think like, oh, he looked great. Vegas is legit. They almost beat the Niners. Like, now, you know what happens when a backup quarterback comes out like Jared Stidham and finally gets his chance and has a very good game? You know what happens?
I do.
You know what happens the next week? Every fucking time they look like Jared Stidham. Always, dude.
Like clockwork.
I'm not saying that Mahomes and all that. I do obviously think Kelsey finds a couple tutters there, but I'm not saying necessarily that Casey's going to put like pedal to the metal the whole game. They could, but dude, I'd be shocked if the Raiders score 17 points, 14 points. Like, I can't see it happening. So give me the minus 3.5. We talked about the levels between 2.5 and 3.5. I'll take the 3.5 for a touchdown versus a field goal kind of deal. And the other one is it's Jacksonville minus 6 at home against Tennessee. A part of me, look, Tennessee has fucking the dude Dobbs from he started his first game in the NFL last week. He looked just god awful.
Yeah, he sure did.
And he has been in the league for a while. He just has never started. So what does that say? But Vrabel has a way to get his teams, especially on the road, to really play tough. But the thing is, it's this Dobbs guy and stuff. Like, it's like their 4th string. It wasn't even on the roster 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and also, like, is Vrabel a huge advantage over Dougie P?
No, that's another point I was getting. Like, Dougie P, man, he's got this Jags team looking legit. They are, when I say legit, I mean they're a good NFL football team, which you haven't been able to say for a while. They're playing great. Like, all around. You saw the way to beat the piss out of Houston. I know it's the Texans, but it's still a feisty team that a lot of really good teams, i.e. KC and shit like that, have had trouble with the Texans. And Jacksonville went into Houston, just beat their ass. They look great. So anyway, I will go ahead and take that minus 6 down to a money line win for Jacksonville. Another reason why, ladies and gentlemen, your boy Hollywood right here gave you in the Jump the Sharp NFL Futures Special, Jacksonville Jaguars plus 750 to win the AFC South. So let's go ahead and cash that shit too with a W by the Jags. So this is a two-way. I just hope KC covers that minus 3.5, and then a Jags win will not only pay me out on that teasy, but will pay me out on that motherfucking future too.
And then you just roll all those winnings up into your Super Bowl props.
Oh, baby. Dude. Guys, I just want to let you guys know, the folks that are loyal to us here at Jump the Sharp, I really appreciate you so much.
Hell yeah.
I don't necessarily know if we will be doing a Super Bowl prop special show on this show, because the dungeon on that Sunday morning will probably be like a 3-hour Super Bowl show. So I think that's where you're going to have to go to find all. We don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
It's going to be off the chain though, for sure.
Yeah, because I don't want to rehash, do an 1.5 hour long Super Bowl special here and then just, I can't come up with an 1.5 hour more of shit. We want to make sure we give you our best picks.
And I also don't want, like adult diapers or anything like that to enter the picture.
I need one right now. Mm-hmm.
Struggling.
Yeah. But anyway,
I'm embarrassed.
To recap.
Yes.
We have an easy teasy, Chiefs and Jags. We have 6 picks. We have Bucks, Falcons under. We have Travis Kelce, Tutter. We have second quarter Birds minus 3.5. And we have the spreads. Miami Dolphins plus 1. Buffalo Bills minus 7.
Bringing the appetizers here.
And Pittsburgh Steelers -2.5.
I talked over that, so I'm sorry. Miami +1, Buffalo -7, Steelers -2.5. We're gonna have some fun this weekend. Week 18. Let's see if we can beat Week 18, because you know what? It's a tough one. And if we can go ahead and build that bankroll a little bit heading into the playoffs, let's fucking go. That's what we're trying to do here. Thank you guys so much for listening once again, for viewing on YouTube, for supporting us here at Jump the Sharp and on the Dungeon, Degenerate Dungeon, every Sunday morning. We hope you're having fun, even just being with it. I know it's been an up and down year. You know, we haven't really talked about it. You know, Woodman.
Yeah,
This has been the most
we had that
up
nice
and down
period. It has been the most up and down. We had that nice period where we really hit our stride and we were killing.
Yep.
But unfortunately, before and after that, we had periods of not great, and so it's been up and down. And we appreciate
our first
you guys.
2 years of this show. It would look like just like a regular up and down kind of graph. This year, as our third year, looked like a fucking like a heartbeat. It went up, up, down, up, down, up. Down.
Yeah,
It was great. Like the first couple of weeks were garbage. Then we brought it up a little bit. Then we kind of evened out. Then we went whoa down.
yeah.
Then we had like fucking 6 weeks. We probably had the best 5-6 week span in the history of our show.
No question. The best of my life, dude.
Yeah. And I mean, incredible. And then boom, we went down a couple weeks ago. Then we kind of evened out, and now we're just kind of even Steven. Let's see if we can win. We would just like to make some money heading into the playoffs. That's all. That's all, folks.
And I don't know if you've crunched the numbers, but I'm gonna guess we're both pretty close to 500 for the year.
I would say
which is not what we want it to be.
I would say over 500, believe it or not.
A little over.
Yeah, I've made money this year.
That's good.
Picks, for sure.
I guess I've made a little.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
The last 2 years, I've made more during the regular season. But
definitely.
As you said last week, dude, we've been pretty on point when it comes to postseason. So
fingers crossed we can keep that going,
time.
because 2 postseasons in a row, we've really done very, very well. I hope we can again.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
It's a little easier, frankly. It's a little. I think it's easier.
Don't be saying that shit right now before we. You know what I mean? We just talked about the up and down, and we'll go 6-0 this week, which means don't even listen to us for the playoffs, because you don't even want to.
If we do go 6-0 this week, honestly, like lower
fade us.
Yeah, fade us a little bit for the playoffs. Like that would be
all right, Woodman. Been a great show. Love you, brother. We'll catch up
thanks,
on the Dungeon.
Thanks so much, everybody. We love you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys so much. Once again, at Jump the Sharp on Twitter, on YouTube, search us, and the Degenerate Dungeon on Twitch Sunday morning. We'll see you. Week 18. It's a tough one, but we're going to beat it. Fuck you, Vegas. Peace the fuck out.